Hey YouTube, number 5 in the best, my most influential records of all time. Top 10 in no order. This I bought, I'll read it out because it'll be written on the inside. I used to write on where I got these records. I remember buying it at a record fair. This is George Harrison, All Things Must Pass. And it was, at the time, I remember it being very expensive. I think I paid 15 quid for it, which is quite a lot, but it came in a box and it's a triple album. I bought it in the SECC at a record fair on the 20th of the 9th, 1997. So quite a while ago. But yeah, so this is it's a triple album, but it's not really a triple album. It's really a double album. The last album's like a jam thing, which is still quite good, but it doesn't count as being. It's like a sort of bonus record. I believe it's actually this one's might actually be worth quite a lot of money these days. The last one's called Apple Jam. You can tell how expensive to come in sort of coloured insert bits. And the last record comes, it's Apple Jam, and it's just basically everyone who's on the record just jamming through a couple of songs. They redid this record, I'm going to say recently, but what I actually mean is like 10 or 15 years ago, where they actually were, because of record contracts, they were actually allowed to say who was playing on it. Because back then, Clapton and all that, the record companies didn't like them. They weren't allowed to, claim royalties or something like that, so that they're on it, but they're not credited on it. Whereas if you buy the All Things Must Pass, I don't know when it came out. It could have been 2000. No, that's only a couple of years after this. Must be 2010, 2005. So I don't know. Whenever it was, the album came out, they crudely coloured in the cover on that one. I did buy it. But this is the original one, and they remastered it as well. This is like the Phil Spector done one, so it's all pushy and overdubbed like hell. It's like, I don't know, I mean, there's about 1 million instruments on every single track. Like 10 acoustic guitars. I think Badfinger are on the whole album, like as the whole group playing acoustic, sitting in the corner, sort of thing. But it's nuts. It's one of those records. Because it's like, well, let's say I'm calling it a double album. But see, when I first got this, you could just put on any either of the two records on either side, and everyone was amazing. It's nuts. I think what happened was George was wrote an awful lot more songs than he was allowed to use on the Beatles albums. He was given like 1 or 2 per album, sort of thing. But a lot of these are, he maybe did 6 for the album. So these are kind of leftover ones from your Abbey Road type era stuff. I mean, this is from 1970 or 1971. I don't know if it actually says on it when they're from. It probably does. 1970. Yeah, actually quite a lot, man. My best albums have come from 1970. But just going through it, I'd have you time My Sweet Lord. You'll hear that one. It's a total bump of Shang-a-Lang or something like that. So if you've got the Who Quadrophenia film soundtrack, the song that My Sweet Lord bumped is on that, and it's just exactly, it's the same. There's no way it's not a copy. It's the same thing. But Wah What Is Life? It's like it's nuts. And then where's the one? Oh god, side 4, The Art of Dying. It's like it's such an epic album. It's hard to really describe. I remember this being one of those ones that probably didn't do too well. It's not as famous as it should be because it used to be really expensive because it was 2 CDs. So it's like back in 97 or whenever this was, the CD version, this would have been 30 quid. Same as like folk who bought The Wall and Physical Graffiti. And the poor, I remember Gavin Suter bought Amagama, Pink Floyd, and it's like, Pink Floyd double album, and it was like, Amagama is not, it's the sort of album that's great if you can get it free, or it's not really great in any sense. I mean, I paid like, I don't know, a $5 for the record, which was fine, but the thought of paying 30 quid for it back then was just nuts, and this was one of those expensive ones. But what an album. I don't know if I was going to have a guitar out and play some of the songs that are on these records, but I realised that Baby Metal was on it, so I can't play any Baby Metal because it's well too hard. I don't know if there's really, I could probably play some of the songs on this, but not that many. It's basically Derek and the Dominos is the band. Sort of, was it Carol Raddle and Jim Gordon and Alan White, and Klaus Verman and bass. Gary Wright, he's from the Is that Procol Harum? Gary Brooker, he Procol Harum as well. Bobby Whitlock, Billy Preston, Dave Mason from Traffic, Bobby Keys from the Stones, isn't he? Rhythm and percussion, Badfinger. Yeah, so I mean, it's just nuts. Produced by George Harrison and Phil Spector. But yeah, so give it a whirl. It comes down to, I mean, everyone always loves Abbey Road as being claimed as being like, oh, it's the best album in the universe ever and stuff like that. I was never really that mad on Abbey Road. Obviously it's great. I can appreciate that it's historical significance, but this is, it's kind of what pushed the Magical Mystery Tour out for me, because I didn't want to have more than one album per band, and I'm figuring this is the best Beatles album, even though it's not really the Beatles. I do like Paul McCartney. I don't know. Okay, I won't actually delete it because I can't be bothered editing this. But maybe it's not the best Beatles album, but it's truly fantastic. Get yourself All Things Must Pass. If you can get the original version, which has got a black and white cover, I think it's better than the remastered one, which is, he's got like red wellies and stuff like that. It's not a colour photo, it's a badly superimposed colour photo, but this one does have a wee bit of a thing on it. Rock and roll, that was number 5. Number 6 coming up in a day's time, or 2 minutes time if you're watching it, if you're me just now.